Hello, can you see me now? Hello. Welcome, welcome to the show. We are here. Things have begun. It is time. I am wearing a tank top for your viewing pleasure because I've been working out for about a month and I feel like, you know, every once in a while we should like do a little progress checkup. I don't know. How are things looking? Probably the same. God, I'm so white. Look at how fucking pale I am. Jesus Christ almighty. Anyway, hello. I hope that you all are having a good night so far. What's up, Amy? Oh yeah, Michelle, thank you so much. Michelle, was it a mistake for you to send 2 donos? Because I will refund you one if that was a mistakey moo. Otherwise, thank you so much. I mean, thank you anyway, because I know at least one of them must have been intentional, but you sent 2 $20 donos, so just want to make sure that was on purpose. Hello, Emma, what's up? We got Paul Hack, there's Ali the Ninja, hello, there's Maria, Soy Boy, Zirzix, hello, or Zrizix. X, I will call you. Zuki Tanuki, celebrity guest, hello. What's up, Willow Oak? There's Sisukara. We got Prosy Mosey. Hello, Mama. Shade. Winter Nightmare. Mersh. Junebug. Raymond Bell. Gayfesh, hello. Goodness. Oh, you know what I don't have is water. I'll have to get that in a second. Okay, thank you, Michelle. Okay, I super seriously appreciate that. Holy shit, just starting off strong. You know, rent is about to be due, so that's useful for me, and I understand that it's that time of the month for everybody else too, so your donos are very much appreciated. Yeah, thanks for the flex. Anyway, I was like, okay, once it's been actually 1 month, I'll take progress pictures. So I'll take progress pictures like next week. I'm gonna bulk for 3 months, and we'll see we'll see what's what at the end of that time. So it's pretty exciting. Yeah, flex emoji's back. Let's do it. Yeah. So that's what's going on with me. It's been a really long week for me. I don't know about you all. It's just been like, oh man, I'm so tired. Like the whole fucking week. The only ancestors I want to identify with are the Italians anyway. Go the wrong way up my family tree and there are slave owners. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Got the Italian things going on in here. I am so jealous of, like, I mean, it's not like I'm saying I don't want to be white, but like there are like white types of people who kind of get brown in the sun, and I just don't. Like, I just get red and Cancer. That's what I get when I go in the sun. What's your goal as far as self-image? I mean, I don't have like a specific goal. I kind of just want to find out what's going to happen if I apply my knowledge about like science and exercise and shit to like try to maximize hypertrophy while also kind of staying balanced overall and not ending up with like just vanity muscles. But the person who kind of primarily inspired me to get buff is Claire. So, I mean, you know, you can kind of see why, maybe. I don't know that I'll ever be that size, but good grief, you know? Oh shit, Soy Boy, that sucks. Got fired yesterday, getting ready to go audition at a club. Wish me luck. I'm soups nervous. Seriously, good luck. I think you'll do great. I think you'll do good. Just stay confident, you know? You'll be able to get it. Yeah, Claire, well, she's very new to CrossFit. She is not very good at it yet by her own evaluation. So she's just like really into trying a bunch of different fitness stuff and a bunch of different intense fitness stuff as well. Oh my gosh, there's so much random hair all over the place. It's my hair. Thank God we live in America, because goddamn those guns. True. I'm a redhead. I burn almost immediately. Yeah, I was like a strawberry blonde child, and then my hair got darker, kind of brownish. Trans people getting guns be like, are you... Claire is not trans. Claire is cis. I'm trans, so I guess trans people getting guns be like this. Urgh. It's so hard to like... I'm like, I did arms day today, so my arms are tired. Flexing is like, oh no, my muscles are sore. What's up, Squisher King? I'm mixed Mediterranean white with some Arabic, Egyptian, and Siberian, so I do tan pretty okay as long as I use high-factor sun lotion. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you're talking about me. Okay, yeah. Hello, Hollow. Welcome in. Andes, you're not too late. We've only been here for about 10 minutes. I started a little bit late today because I wanted to start some potato soup in the slow cooker, which is what I have done. There is some potato soup in the slow cooker, and I'm very excited to eat it later. There's like the preliminary stage, which is going to last about 4 hours. And then the last stage is going to be about an hour. Yeah. Paul Hack, I think you were totally on time today. We started at 6, which was about 10 minutes ago. Tater soup, yeah. And it's got bacon in it, and it's got chicken stock in it. Potatoes, mash them, cut them up, throw them in a stew, I think is what it is. I don't know the exact words of Samwise Gamgee, our saint, our Lord and Savior. Zuki also did arms today. Yes. My arms routine is this, Zuki. Tell me what your assessment is of this. So when I do arms, I start out with lats. I do the lat pull down, and then I do curl to press with dumbbells, and then I do upright row, and then I do triceps behind the head, and then my last one is horizontal dumbbell pull like this. Like lean your body over and like against gravity, grab it. Anyway, potatoes, boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. I have practically memorized the Lotor movies. You know, I used to have all the words to Austin Powers Gold Member. Do any curls or squats? Yeah, so the curls that I do are like, well, so for arms, I do curl to press, which is like, it's kind of like I'm incorporating two exercises into one fluid movement. It's like curl to press and then back down. And then I do squats, and I also do leg curls. Like, you know, when you lie down with your belly down on the thing and you put your legs on the thingy and then like you bend your knees and like lift weight. That one. I had all of the words of Sid's lines in the Ice Age movies. Oh man, I haven't seen those in a long time. I had the entire Lion King memorized. Trying the web chat on the phone. Good luck. I've heard that it's not very stable on the phone. Trump just got indicted and is going to be arrested. I heard about that, Lude. I heard. It could just be the tank top. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see how it goes. This kind of looks like a little different to me, but I don't know. We'll see. I do nothing for arms. I work out for big butt. Today I did squats, reverse lunges, hip thrust, and fire hydrants, plus a plank and some sit-ups, which I do every workout. When I do leg day, mine is, I do squats first, and then single leg deadlifts, and then lunges, and then this thingy, the bending. I've had be prepared. Be prepared. Got it stuck in your head. No worries. What is indicted? Indicted means that he, I mean, does it basically mean he's not quite being charged, but he's being forced to come in for questioning? Hello, Silent. Welcome in. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. I need to grab my water. I keep forgetting to go grab the water at the beginning of streams. I do lat pull downs. Because that doubles as back widening. Yeah, I start with that one because it's a back workout as well. Like, I don't do a back and core workout separately, so I do a bunch of workouts that also just use my core and back. Yes, hail hydrate. So yeah, it does mean that he is going to be charged. Yeah. So indicted is like being formally accused of or charged with a serious crime. Like, you could just say he is being charged with a crime, and it has to do with the the hush money that he paid to Stormy Daniels, I think that's what it is. I'm gonna grab some water before we get too far into this, and we will continue talking about nonsense momentarily. Okay, I got water. I could not figure out where I had left my cup. Agua! Hello, Christy! Hello! I took a walk and made sure I was walking for a full hour. Then I got back and smoked, took an edible, and baked a pizza. Just ate. Now I'm gonna game and listen to stream until I get to play the first session of Thirsty Sword Lesbians campaign. Ooh! Is that, I'm assuming that's a tabletop. Some very cool sounding tabletop game. Are you playing online, or are you going to be playing with a person? Like, with people in person? Online. That sounds fun. Ooh. I am, I think so. I go to this party every summer. It's like a mostly outdoor event, which is why I go to it still. And I think that there's going to be some people coming the night before to do a D&D game, and I'm really not excited about it. I'm really like, man, that sounds bad. That sounds really bad, actually. I mean, with the COVID and with the I don't know these people very well, and like, it just doesn't sound like a fun time. So I'm probably not going to participate. But, you know, I hope that they have fun, for sure. I will just treat it like a camping night with my partner, probably. Cannot wait for the Trump mugshot. Oh, boy. He's going to look super miserable. It's going to be very funny. It's really sad that this is how low our bar is for the justice system. Trump should have been arrested on January 6th. I doubt this charge will result in prison time, and he could just eat a fine rather easily. We need to focus on how it will affect the political environment. Yeah, I don't think that he is going to be very seriously harmed. Like, I would not say that he's going to be very seriously harmed by the situation. I don't actually know how much money he has, though. And like how much they'll penalize him. At most he'll get house arrest. Yeah, I mean, he is like in his 70s, you know, so I guess there's like a limit to what they'll do. I'm a bad leftist. I still mask at stores and stuff, but otherwise I am back to about all gatherings. I mean, yeah. I really like am trying not to alienate people when it comes to the COVID stuff. But you should definitely still be masking, like, unless you're outside. And even if you're outside, because it's just getting more and more infectious. I don't mask at DM's place, but I do mask at the store. Like, if you have, like, you know, a couple of friends who also don't really go anywhere and who primarily wear masks when they go places, but, like, every person that you expose yourself to increases your risk of second and third hand exposure. If you go to like bigger gatherings and stuff. So Solander, hello. Like I see my partner, and if I go see my sister-in-law, I won't wear a mask. I mean, it kind of depends actually. Maybe I will wear a mask if I go inside, but I'll not wear a mask if I'm just gonna go outside. Like I went and got some firewood from her recently. I love the plexiglass. Listen, I want the plexiglass to stay forever. I love it so much. I love it so much. My only outing in a long time is going to be Skinny Puppy, and I will go masked. Yeah. So it is the case with STDs, but you won't see me canceling communion anytime soon. The whole point of that graphic that they showed you about like the exponential exposure is that you limit like almost all of the risk involved with this exposure by wearing a fucking condom. And it's exactly the same principle with masks, you know? I think all of us try to keep masking through. I fell out of it for about a month after I got my third ultra booster, but I'm defo back to carrying my masks. I mean, yeah, the thing is that you are risking losing your ability to get out of bed every time you get COVID, which is like, I know someone personally who can barely feed himself now, and or rather themselves. I know someone who I used to be like a totally normal functioning adult. They were in their 30s and got COVID, and now they have ME/CFS and cannot get out of bed. I have a cousin who has like repeatedly had health complications and health scares that have involved having to go to the hospital with like, that's what her long COVID symptoms are like, basically. And the vaccination it helps your acute symptoms, like whether or not you will end up in the hospital during the initial acute infection, but it does not seem to make any statistical significantly correlated difference on whether or not you develop serious long COVID like symptoms long term. So, you know, your own personal health, you're risking it pretty majorly, like pretty seriously majorly. Like not your existence, but your life and your ability to live it in literally any capacity beyond being in bed all day. And it seems like your risk of that happening to you also increases upon each infection. Hashtag just get better genes. That is literal eugenics. Yeah. That is, that is realistically, I would say that, like, that's realistically what's going to happen. But the fact that this, like, damages people's immune systems and stuff. Thank you. I love this cup. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, Amy's just joking around. Definitely counting myself lucky to have only had it once. I think I had the Delta wave. I got sick that summer, and I don't think I tested, or maybe I just didn't test positive or something. But no, that's natural selection. Eugenics is when we try to do the selection. If you allow something to run unmitigated when you have the technology to mitigate it, like if you look at the fact that the demographics who are more largely affected as well, like disabled people are more likely to die. So if you don't act to protect them, your policies of like allowing the disease to run rampant are eugenicist in nature. Trans people are more highly affected by COVID. Black people are more highly affected by COVID. Yeah, trolley problem with a very clear wrong option. Vaccines not helping with long COVID doesn't seem to be true. Vaccination may protect against long COVID. It has not been shown long term. Like, we'll have to see. But like, to an extent, it doesn't matter if you're going to continue to have your risk increased upon each reinfection. And it's not like your total risk goes down the more times you get vaccinated. You get vaccinated and you have immunity, and then it wears off, and then you get vaccinated again and you have like the same amount of immunity. It's not like your immunity really grows over time, but your risk of COVID your risk of long-term complications from long COVID does stack over time. I had it once and would prefer to not repeat the experience. However, my fault for choosing to go to Texas. You know? If I was going to go on an airplane, I would get like a full face respirator and everything. I had terrible brain fog for like 6 months after getting COVID. I definitely had some mild neurological effects from when I had the Delta wave, but Delta didn't really have as much of a long COVID component. Now that we're in like Omicron and all these different subtypes of Omicron, like BA4, BA5, BA5.5 and shit like this, like these Omicron variants are a lot more prone to causing long COVID problems. So it's like, it's to me even more necessary to avoid it now. Yeah, Omicron Persei 8. One of Hollow's headmates is all ranty and shitty about the mask stuff up until we actually go out, and if she's fronting, she doesn't put up the slightest fight. She just likes whining. Oh God, oh no. That's gotta be really frustrating. I can never tell what's real and what's just in my head with that sort of thing because I am a hypochondriac. Well, I would say that all of your impulses toward hypochondria with respect to COVID are warranted and justified, because it is a horrendous disease that is like kind of similar to having AIDS as far as your immune system goes, and like the long-term tissue damage and like organ damage and fucking brain fog and brain damage is effectively, you know, scary stuff. I caught it last fall. I wish they would have opened up a second booster for younger people faster. I caught it from a coworker. Oh God. Stay home from fucking work, please. Stay home. Yeah, stay home from work if you are sick. Men are from Omicron Persei 7. Women are from Omicron Persei 9. What are you gonna do? So far, I have not had the Rona. Oh, yeah, knock on wood, Zuki. Are Omicronians only from Persei 8? I don't know how many other planets in their system are populated. I would guess that they're not populated. So Crestfallen Hollow, as far as I know, like I was talking to my doctor about Paxlovid, and he was saying that there isn't a strong correlation. Like there isn't enough evidence yet that Paxlovid actually makes a difference, and it's kind of expensive. So, I mean, if you can get it covered by your insurance or whatever, but it can be like $500 for a course of Paxlovid, and you don't want to be on Paxlovid long term. You only want to use it to try to manage your acute symptoms. I assume that they're only from 8, and then like Mars and Venus are on opposite sides of us. So the joke is like 7 and 9 are on opposite sides. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like it just hasn't, like I just don't think it's been borne out in research yet. Like I'm sure that there are like individual cases of like seeming to have a very quick recovery after Paxlovid. I don't know. I haven't personally looked into it yet, but it's like it has not yet been borne out in like data, like beyond anecdotes. So it remains to be seen whether it's going to be helpful. And I'm just noting that it also happens to be expensive. I cannot get over the frustration that like we had the capability to stop it if we'd kept quarantine until the first vaccine and then only allowed people to leave quarantine when they took the vaccine. I get how that's impractical and dangerous to implement, but it sucks that everyone decided to let every immunocompromised person die of COVID for the rest of our time on this planet. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty frustrating that there is, like that we genuinely could have just shut the economy down for about a month and potentially eliminated this virus. And we still could. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's been a little while since I talked to my doctor about this, so maybe maybe some of this stuff just hadn't come to his attention yet. But I also don't personally know how to go in. Like, I'm not gonna like take the time to go in and check all of these right this moment to see like what their methodologies were and like to what extent they have gone through peer review and all these things. Six weeks would be best. It would almost be guaranteed to wipe it out. I know. If we could just do 6 weeks and it wouldn't, like, I don't even think it would be that big of a deal. I don't know. Like, what are some institutions that absolutely could not come to a halt for 6 weeks, you know? Like, I guess, like, getting food to the groceries, like, getting food to the grocery stores in different parts of the country. We would still need to do that for sure. People have to work in the hospitals, probably pharmacy workers. Like, there are some things that are genuinely, earnestly essential and that we should, like, try to make those jobs as safe as possible. This is, like, one reason why I will not be able to take a part-time job. Like, I am so glad. Like, I'm doing pretty good here at this job. Thank you very much for watching and donating and all that shit. Thank you for liking the video. That always helps, and it's free and it's quick. But I can't go and work a regular job because I'm not going to deal with like the risk of COVID. And I also think that there is going to be kind of like how there's a social stigma around being trans and trying to find a job that's public facing. I think that there would be a risk where like companies like a shop or a gas station or something, like they might want their employees to not wear masks because the mask like reminds customers of bad things, or like might freak out the customers and make the customer think that the workers are sick. So I just am anticipating there being, if there aren't already, like discriminatory practices that force people out of workplaces because they want to try to keep themselves safe by wearing masks and their employers don't want them to. Like, we need OSHA protections for this desperately. We desperately need OSHA protections and upgraded HEPA guidelines. Like, you know, if OSHA can say we need to install air purification systems in every classroom and in all these different jobs and workplaces. A few at the top are definitely satisfactory on methodology. Okay, cool. Kansas sure sounds like a different world to hear. How so? I see a mix of people masking everywhere. I mean, it kind of depends on where you're at in Kansas, but there aren't very many at this point. And I'm not saying that I am saying Kansas specifically is going to have an issue where there's going to be discrimination against people with masks. But, like, I mean, I know that there are issues with being employed as a trans person here, and wearing masks is, like, kind of the same sort of sensitive liberal bullshit that, and, like, there are plenty of conservatives who live here. So you do have to kind of navigate that a bit. I've just been thinking about that with, like, my teenage siblings, who I'm hoping to help them get to a place where they can, you know, get jobs when they graduate high school. And I'm thinking of, like, oh, okay, what kind of jobs could they get? You know, if they want to move out of our parents' house and in with me, which I would like them to do, then I would like them to be able to work part-time a little bit, just to make it a little bit easier for everybody, give them some life experience and things like this. And I'm like, okay, the only kind of job that you can get straight out of high school is going to be working at a gas station or some shit like that. And I want them to wear masks. And I just think that it is probably going to hurt their employment prospects. I hate when work distracts me from the streams that I'm trying to watch at work. Oh, gosh. No one here in Nebraska wears them now. Hollow sees nobody wearing masks in Ohio, to the point where it's unusual for a big event to mandate them. Yeah, I'm going to... Oh, I'm getting my IUD taken out tomorrow. I don't know how much money it's going to cost, but I think I can pay for it. Oh my God, I'm so stressed out about it, though. I'm so stressed. But I'm kind of, like, wondering if the employees are going to be wearing masks still, because I haven't been to the hospital in a while. So, or hospital. I haven't been to like any clinic in a while. At the grocery store, always go at off hours. The lines are shorter and the transmission less likely at early and late hours. I try to go to the grocery store. I usually go to the grocery store after I go to the gym, which is like, so I go in like the early afternoon, and it's way busier there than I would anticipate. But then when I randomly have the urge to get ice cream at 9 p.m. and I go to the grocery store, there's like fucking nobody there. So, you know, the store closes at like 11 or 12 now. So I guess if you go at night, that's the equivalent of going at 2 a.m. Sneeze. Good Christ. Thank you, Liana. I appreciate that. Love your name. Good luck with IUD. I pray for minimal to zero ouchies. Fingers fucking crossed, yo. Whenever I go into the doctors, they're still masking, and I go every 3 months. Yeah, so people say that the IUD removal is significantly easier than the putting it in place. And so I'm not really expecting it to be okay, but I'm expecting it to be easier. And I had my doctor prescribe me some Xanax. So I have Xanax, and I'm also going to take a shit ton of ibuprofen beforehand. I've already started. I'm supposed to take, actually, he told me to take 800 milligrams of ibuprofen approximately every 8 hours for 1 to 2 days before my procedure. And that seems like way too much ibuprofen. So instead, I'm going to take like 400 milligrams of ibuprofen every 8 hours or so, perhaps a little bit more when the actual procedure is imminently about to happen in the next like hour or so. But yeah, because that's supposed to make it easier as well to reduce the inflammation or some shit like that. So yeah, fingers crossed that it goes well. And then I'm going to go over to my person's house and get to sit on the couch and cuddle. It's going to be good. They straight up lie when they say it doesn't hurt, but they also can use local anesthetic to do it by request, but that may cost extra. Right, the IUD... Well, so I got the IUD placed several months ago, like 7 months ago or so, and it gave me PTSD. And so I'm pretty upset about that. And I'm going to a different clinic to get it removed. And people say that the removal is just like a lot easier and hurts less. And it's quicker than having it put in. So I'm hoping that, you know, it was in the correct location. I had to get a transvaginal ultrasound and everything to figure out, like, to make sure that it was in the correct place when I had it placed. So if it's in the correct place still, they should be able to just go in and use their little tools and take it out. Yes, it's quicker, but yes, it still hurts. Please get a local. I can't get a local. Like, does it hurt less than the having it placed part? Because if it hurts less than that, I think I'll be able to like tolerate it. But I'm also supposed to take a shit ton of ibuprofen beforehand. The last lady just pulled mine out. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm hoping... I'm gonna express to them that, like, this was a very seriously bad situation for me before, and, like, I need them to be very, like, gentle and good at their job. But I also got it placed by someone who didn't specialize in OBGYN care, and now I am going to a specialist OBGYN, so hopefully that will make it a little bit better. Listen, EB, I am super fucked up from having my IUD placed. And I, like, you know, I have Xanax, and I'm planning on I'm planning to have the opportunity, if I need to cry on the couch all evening. Like, if that's what needs to happen, I have the plan. Did you have to pay OBGYN prices even though it wasn't an OBGYN? I think that it was like a reduced cost at this other clinic. So we'll see. Yeah, I know I'm just flinching too, I think. Yeah, I hope that that people are not downplaying how much it is going to hurt to have it removed also. I'm kind of like just trying not to think about it. Because, like, I just really need the situation to be resolved. So, yeah. I'm trying not to get too freaked out about it. I mean, I have a full busy day tomorrow, too. I'm gonna, like, be working on school stuff for my siblings early in the morning. And, like, well, I'm gonna try to edit and do that early in the morning. And I'm gonna work out. And then I'm gonna go have the IUD taken out. And then I'm gonna come back to my apartment and chill for a while and then go to my partner's house. Do you have a different pain tolerance to others? I have a very low one, so I feel like everything sucks. No, I don't think I have a different pain tolerance. I feel like I'm actually able to tolerate a good amount of pain because I have a lot of it all the time, like to varying degrees. And I just think that having the IUD placed recalibrated what a 10 means on a scale of 1 to 10. You'll likely be totally fine. It's mostly icky at the time and like a bruise after. Use pads though, that's almost guaranteed needed. Yeah, like if it... Yeah, I'm imagining it's going to be a little bit more uncomfortable than like a cervical swab. Can't take ibuprofen. It's an NSA ID which interacts with my lithium. Ah, that's rough. Lithium. I have to take care of dogs for a week. Oh. Is that not fun? Is that not a good time? Oh, God. I guess I'm glad that I'm being prepped by you guys now to know that it's actually gonna still suck and hurt a lot. Cause like, I was kind of hoping that it was not going to hurt at all tomorrow. So yeah. What's this stream going to cover? Well, and Uncom, I didn't really have a specific plan because it just feels like I don't really feel like I could go very far in depth on any of the news that has come out this week. But there is a bunch of different stuff that we could talk about. Don't drink with ibuprofen. Yeah, I know it can hurt your liver. Prep for pain. My IUDs have always hurt so badly. Yeah, this is having it removed. It hurt really, really badly to have it placed. I am guessing that it is going to hurt less to have it taken out. CBD is great for the muscle relaxation. I guess there are CBD stores in Kansas now, huh? It's good when we chill. Yeah, I agree, Maria. I think, you know, we're kind of striking a pretty decent balance between talking about news and just chilling. Sometimes we need to just do that. CBD is pretty expensive. Yeah. I do have a little bit of, I think I'm going to end up with like a little bit of extra money this month, so I could. But it's like, oh God, am I going to try to find a CBD store to go to tomorrow? Removal sucked, but way less. You're going to do great. Thank you. Do you have any opinions on the Nashville shooting and how the right have used it to fuel hate? I mean, that is, I think, the main... I think after the manifesto comes out, that's the conversation that we're going to have. We talked about it a little bit on Tuesday, just kind of looking at the preliminary news. I really don't like to put out... I don't know, maybe it would be better for the channel, or maybe better for me and faster to get more shit on the channel rather than waiting. I just tend to prefer waiting until some details play out and then do a segment where we can talk about, okay, here's the actual shooting event and here's what happened. And so that's what we went over before, and a little bit of the initial misinfo and mixed messages about whether the person is a trans woman or whether they're trans mask. Okay, help me make a decision, chat. Okay, actually, we're gonna break off for a second. I want you to help me make a decision. Dude, I need to chill so bad. The news is brutal. Right. Okay, so if I were to keep cutting my hair the way that I cut my hair, right? Like, I've been considering growing out one or both of the sides and seeing if I can get my hair all one length again, or maybe mostly one length with one side undercut. But I've also been thinking before I do that, maybe I should, yeah, go ahead and share the link. That's fine. Should I part my hair the other way? Like, here's how I normally part my hair. But I was thinking about my nose, and I was thinking about how my nose is off center. And I was like, why did I even start parting my hair on this side? I should part my hair on this side so that it makes this side of my face look slimmer because of my nose being all uneven. Ugh. I would go to the meeting tomorrow, Amy, but I am going to be catatonic on a couch filled with anxiety medication. So... a delay for details and a proper breakdown is good. Jumping on it early can be too emotionally charged. Depends how you prefer to present it. I just prefer to do things in a more comprehensive way. We'll have notes in a couple days. Yeah, cool. Okay, good. So I'm kind of thinking like maybe it would be better for my face if my hair were parted this way, but I don't know. I think actually maybe it looks worse. Maybe this is the bad side of my face. I don't know. Versus this. Do we have any thoughts? Because I was thinking about growing out part of it and then undercutting the other side. So I was like, oh, well, how would it look on stream if this is what I looked like instead with my hair down on this side? And like you could see my undercut over here. The bad side, there is none. I do have a bad side. I for sure do. Funny because I never noticed that about you, but when I look in the mirror, I see mine is not symmetrical. I do stream from this direction, and I also take selfies from this direction because this side of my face just looks really different. Like, my nose looks so much bigger on my face because it's like leaning toward camera in this angle. More andro with the way you normally have it. Oh, well, thank you, Amy. You're hot regardless. Yeah, so I kind of agree. I think that my hair looks more feminine if I part it this way, which is interesting. And then this way is like more andro. Symmetry is overrated, I know. Symmetry is supposedly what makes people attractive, but whatever. I'd love to get mine like Anthony Padilla did. How did Anthony Padilla do his hair? For me, I tend to try to make myself look as non-symmetrical as possible because I hate people looking at me. If you're too asymmetrical, then you're gonna attract even more attention, hypothetically. Harrison Ford is considered attractive and he's very asymmetrical. Well, that kind of like begs the question. I saw there was like some conversation about Pedro Pascal and how it's like he's not hot and neither is Benedict Cumberbatch, but they've played, or sorry, no, not Benedict Cumberbatch. They were talking about Matt Smith and Pedro Pascal and how it's like, you know, they're not hot. They've just played men that you're supposed to think are hot. Hoping that's true. Half my face is paralyzed. Oh no, Bobby. I think asymmetry is it's certainly valued in many contexts. Side pony with a toque is how I tend to style my hair lately. Cause I've been thinking about like growing out my hair. And like my hair naturally parts. Like my natural part is like here. Ish. Somewhere around here. So if I were to grow out my hair all around, this is where it would naturally want to part. And I was kind of thinking like, I don't think I like it. You know, it's not really for me anymore. So that's why I started parting it over here. This is the complete opposite side of my head. And I was like, well, what if I wanted to grow out this part underneath my long hair and keep this part shaved? And then that's when the question arose of, do I want to instead do this and grow out this side and shave this side so that like my face is open to camera? You know what I mean? Do you still stand by what you said about Will Smith slap a year ago? You know what, Christy? I was actually just thinking about that this week and about how much I still believe that that's the case. I mean, I'm getting tired of living in a society where people like can shit talk and say transphobic things. Like, here's the thing. I grew up around a lot of black people. Do you know what happens if you say the N-word to a black person? If you're white? Can you guess? If you grew up in a place where there were not very many black people, just take a guess. Yeah, they beat the shit out of you. And I think that is appropriate and proportional. And so I actually think that they're like the like monopoly on violence that the state has acquired by declaring that even something like spraying water on someone is literally assault, like legally speaking. You know, I think that has made society worse. Big time. Big time it's made society worse. I feel like it's more expected because people are more clued up on those issues. There's more black people than trans people, etc. This is some good anarchism. Happy for you, Luxander. I mean, yeah, I just like it has made society worse. You remember, like, there was one historical trans man. I cannot remember his name. Hold on, let me find it. Is it Harry Allen? The newspapers covered his petty crimes associated with life on the margins, such as burglary, disorderly conduct, disturbing the peace, and vagrancy. Is this the guy? Like, he would threaten people with a gun if they misgendered him. I can't remember if it was actually this guy. But there was like a trans man in the Wild West who would just like threaten people with a gun if they called him a woman. And I think that that's based. King shit. Famous trans man Jesse Pinkman, true. Yes, the cowboy who threatened to shoot everyone who misgendered him. I can't find if it's in this article. I don't think it's that guy because he's from Washington State. I wish that it were easier to find info about trans people. That would be great. Maybe I do like how my hair looks like this. I don't know. We'll see. We'll try it out a little bit. It also only like sticks up like this on this side because it doesn't normally part that way right now. So it will eventually settle down if I start parting it this way all the time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like it. We'll see. We'll try it out. It looks great. Oh, thank you. Not a lot of cowboys up yonder. Well, it was a little bit more like... It was like Wild West in Washington State at one point, but I don't think you would be from Washington State at that point. It would mostly be like settlers. No, keep getting pulled into pointless conversations at work, missing 75% of stream. Well, we're just fucking around, so no major worries. Did anyone else have this issue of everyone associating with sex? Is this a trans thing? Yo, it's like seriously a trans thing. So I've been putting up videos on the channel recently. You know, it's been slower than I want it to be, as per usual. I struggle a lot with editing. I'm working on it. That's, you know, if anything, I'm incentivized not to do as much political content because then I have less shit to edit. But I have had so many chuds on the channel recently who have been talking about sexualizing children and stuff and talking about gender or like drag and how drag is sexualizing children. I've been responding to some of them. Let's see if I can find one for you. What happened? Phone. I really need to change my phone settings so that it talks to me less often. You talk to me too much, phone. Why do you talk to me so much, phone? I have this deviant fetish where I want to be fucked in my vagina, something which no cis woman has ever wanted. Truly. Such a crazy fetish that you have as a woman, wanting to be penetrated in your vagina hole. How dare. I spent like an embarrassing amount of my day today replying to shitty comments on my YouTube channel instead of just deleting them. Cis people sexualize children to dress up babies in tiaras and parade them around, but no one stops that crap. I was actually a little pageant baby when I was like 3 or 4 years old, and I barely remember it, but I doubt that it was fun. I love the people who get a cast of their dick and make a dildo out of it and then fuck their pussy with their own dick. I know, such a power move. Or, like, alternatively, I mean, along the same vein, they'd make a cast of their dick, make a dildo out of it, and then wear it as a strap-on after they've had their dick removed. Like, that's also pretty baller shit. What it is about YouTube and Facebook comment sections that attract the dumbest of all chuds. I mean, I make this political content, so it's like when it breaks out of my bubble, you know, like the trans people who already follow me and the leftists who already follow me, when it breaks out of that bubble, it just ends up going to like the next thing that it attracts is chuds, because those are the other people in the broader political audience on Twitter or on Facebook. Detachable penis. Isn't that a song? Detachable penis. I don't actually know the tune. It is? Yeah, I thought it was. I'm gonna do both whenever my bottom surgery gets scheduled. I've heard that it's weird to make a cast of your penis because it's difficult to remain hard. Did anybody else notice an uptake in TERFs on Twitter when Musk bought it? I ended up deleting it because my mental health is worth more than seeing that stuff. I think that what happened was an increase in like bot accounts, basically. And so consequently, you're seeing more troll accounts because it's those type of people who make a bunch of sock accounts and do that kind of bullshit. You just gotta find somebody with a plaster fetish. They will definitely stay hard. Yeah, absolutely. Probably gonna need Viagra to do it. I've heard that it's like, you know, get a cock ring. That'll help a lot. And actually, what was it? Silent was talking about you can get a plumping cream from sex toy stores that you like put on your pee-pee and it increases the blood flow. Anyway. Yeah, the plumping creams. A cock ring? Okay, Richie Rich. I just use a hair tie. That's not good. That's not healthy. You shouldn't do that. Like, you explicitly shouldn't do that. They're not that expensive. They're like 10 or 15 bucks. Maybe I did end up deleting a lot more of these comments than I thought I did. Oh yeah, here's one. At least one. Sexualizing children is not acceptable. It's pedophile grooming. Defending it proves one's true intent to normalize it. Calling people derogatory names seems to be against the liberal doctrine of acceptance and tolerance, does it not? Like, I should have edited this video differently. I should have put the Hitler salutes and the Hail Hitlers at the beginning of the video. I'm very much missed out on an opportunity to do that. Like, I should have done that. Okay, keep going on. Checking off the list of things that I still need. People don't understand that there is a difference between leftists and liberals. They keep accusing me of being a liberal, and I'm like, no, man, no. Do you delete them for your sake or trans people in the audience who may see it, or both? Primarily for my audience. I mean, it's not like I love seeing hateful comments. Like, I don't want people to... Okay, here's part of it. I argue with people in my YouTube comments and on Twitter. And I don't think that it's healthy for me. And I don't like it when, you know, trans-affirming people come onto the channel and argue with chuds in the comments, because I don't want people to associate those emotions with my channel. Like, I don't want conflict in the comments section to be the norm, because that is the norm across the internet. So yeah, especially if someone trans supportive comments, or someone who is trans comments, and then someone responds to them in a negative way, like that's a hardcore, that person's just gonna get blocked from the channel completely. And like, I don't delete all of the harmful comments. Like, I leave up some of them. Yeah, like this one says, and the left doesn't cause problems. Why just straight people? Drag queens are not acceptable for children. You are sick. And then I said, dress up is inappropriate for kids. What a weird thing to say. Like, I do still troll a little bit and mess around with them. Oh yeah. And then they said, no, but it is when grown men doing it. Obviously you have no morals. And I didn't say dress up. There is a difference. And if you can't see that, you are part of the problem. And I was like, okay, adult men can't dress up in fun costumes. Got it. Do you also take issue with school mascots and birthday clowns? Clown emoji. Like, sometimes I'm a little bitch in my comments. It's like one of the only places that I allow myself to be unrelentingly hostile to people. But generally I try not to foment that kind of environment. How does the right explain Tiamat and other folk with penectomy, no vaginoplasty? Truly, what a misandrist. Yeah, obviously I have no morals. I have zero morals. I have none morals. Gay, straight, trans, no one cares, including any Republican I've ever met, but children should not be exposed to sexual adult content. That includes strip clubs, pornography, and drag shows. That's the whole argument. Neither side supports Nazis or violence. There are crazies on all sides. That's it. It's as simple as that. And I'm like trying to explain an adult wearing a costume to tell children a story is not sexual content. Again, are you going to complain about birthday clowns and women who get paid to dress as Disney princesses? There are actual Nazis in this video saying Hail Hitler. And then they said, so you really think that people that are against drag shows for kids are okay with Nazis just because Nazis protested? Since Jeffrey Dahmer was a Democrat, does that mean all Democrats are murdering sex offenders? No one is against people dressing up as clowns or princesses or even drag queens. The problem is that drag shows are adult entertainment, sexual by nature, and should not be combined with children's story hour. Do you not see the problem here? And then I'm throwing down the, like, 9 Nazis at a table, 1 Nazi at a table. So, yeah. Gotta use that line sometime. The birthday clowns thing. Like, I do take issue with birthday clowns. So I was enjoying that for like an hour. I took Ritalin, and that's what I did with my time on Ritalin, was I argued with people in my comments section. What are your thoughts on other black men like Kendrick Lamar or FD Signifier who spoke out against Will Smith's actions? You're allowed to be black and disagree with me. Like, I'm not going to bend my opinion about society being shitty because of, like, a couple of people of color disagreeing with my position. Because, like, I'm not even arguing, like, the whole, like, black people don't have more of a valid opinion than I do on this subject, because my opinion doesn't exclusively talk about black people. You know, Christy? Like, when I say I think that... You know, I think that Will Smith was justified because, or that I don't think he should be majorly penalized, is because I think that, like, in general in society, and I have trans specific examples to cite. Like, that's why I brought up, I don't know, was it fucking Harry Allen? I still wasn't able to figure out, like, historical trans man Wild West. I don't know, what the fuck was his name? Harry Allen is the only person who is showing up when I type in, like... When I look up Wild West trans man. You know, we've had drag queens as a normal part of British culture for years. TV personalities and pantomime dames are normal here. None of these are sexual when they have children in the audience. Jim West? West, Jim West. Drag is only bad when queer people do it. I'm not surprised that I'm being memed on. I could tell that there was a joke happening and that I wasn't getting it, and I am more focused on trying to figure out who the fuck this person is. Jim West is from Wild Wild West. Oh, yeah. Of course. I just haven't seen that movie in a while. Oh, but God, that's the song. The song is in my head now. Oh, my partner likes to listen to the song. Oh, no. Oh, my God. And like the rap song that Will Smith does toward the end. Oh, God. You know that Gilderoy Lockhart is in that movie? Kenneth Branagh. I think it must have been Harry Allen. I cannot find any other... There's just not another Wild West trans man that shows up when I'm searching this. Did you already talk about Trump being indicted? I mean, what is there to really talk about so far? What do we know about it? He's being indicted because of something about Stormy Daniels, right? Like... I think I don't like, I think that the totality of my commentary on this is like, okay, he's probably not going to get punished very much. So campaign finance laws. Trump's attorney says an indictment has a, quote, complete lack of legal basis. Trump indictment in New York not expected to impact timing of Georgia probe. Manhattan DA's office has contacted Trump's attorney to coordinate surrender. This evening, we contacted Mr. Trump's attorney to coordinate his surrender to the Manhattan DA's office for arraignment on a Supreme Court indictment, which remains under seal. Guidance will be provided when the arraignment date is selected. Trump's sons respond to his indictment. Here's what we know about what happens next now that Trump has been indicted. A Manhattan grand jury's indictment to former President Donald Trump will set in motion a criminal process that will, in some ways, work like that of any other defendant, and in others, look very different. When someone is indicted, the charges are sometimes kept under seal until the defendant's first appearance in court. The charges that the grand jury approved against Trump are currently not public. This evening, we contacted Trump's attorney. Yes. First appearances are usually public proceedings. If an arrest of a defendant is not needed, arrangements are made with them or their lawyers for a voluntary surrender to law enforcement. With their first appearance in court, defendants are usually booked and fingerprinted. So they're basically trying to coordinate. The most recent news is they're trying to coordinate having Trump brought in. Yeah, I really do think it would be funny if he tries to hunker down in Mar-a-Lago, if they have to go in guns blazing to get him. See, part of the reason why I want to grow the bottom part of one side of my hair out is because I want it to have a little bit more body, and I would have I would have so much more hair if I had like an entire section of hair down here. There would be so much more of it, and I could do so much more with it. I hope he pulls an O.J. Simpson and drives away. If he flees the country, that would be even funnier because he would never be able to re-enter. Mar-a-Lago secedes from the U.S. They're just going to I wonder if, Trump has a series of bombs at like, the connecting point where Florida is, the little penis jutting off of America, and he, A Song of Ice and Fire style, breaks the arm of Dorne, a bunch of explosions, and, Florida just starts to slowly drift out to sea. That would be pretty funny. Do you think I'm being too sensitive when I really go off on celebrities who were in Harry Potter who haven't denounced J.K. Rowling? Like Tom Felton, who played Draco. I used to like him, but now I'm like, ew, especially when they've defended her. She's literally using words like degenerates and Tims now. I think that if they're being silent on the issue, that you shouldn't bother them, because there are plenty of Harry Potter actors who have supported her outright. So I would say, you know, you don't have to like them, but I would say, you know, don't go after them, because what you're likely to do is make them come out against your shit, you know? It's like, if they're against trans people, do you really want to know? Would you rather that they shut the fuck up about it? This is like, you know, the author of the book series that I really like to listen to, aside from A Song of Ice and Fire, Christopher Paolini, wrote The Inheritance Cycle. He's never mentioned anything about trans people, and I would say based on the writing that it's possible that he would not have a good opinion of trans people. And I just want him to never talk about it, because I don't want the thing that I like to be ruined. I don't have an opinion formed on any Harry Potter actor that hasn't said anything. Right. Fuck the ones who have defended JK since she started. The ones who've spoken against her are based. The ones who are quiet, there's a million reasons they might be. You know? There's like a whole movie where Daniel Radcliffe doesn't say anything. Are you talking about the, Are you talking about the Swiss Army man? Because he does talk a little bit, I think, in that one, doesn't he? Maybe I am mistaken. Yeah, exactly. Tom Felton doesn't have the clout of the big three. Maybe he just wants to stay out of it. There are any number of reasons why and like legal action. She has threatened legal action against people. So, you know, they don't want to they don't have anti-slap laws in the UK. They don't have laws that say, hey, you're not allowed to, excuse me. They don't have laws that say you're not allowed to sue someone for saying something against you. And like in the United States, if you're above a certain level of notoriety anyway, like slander and libel laws don't apply in the same way. Yeah, thank God in the US we can say anything about her. But like Helena Bonham Carter supported her and Ralph Fiennes supported her. So, you know, dislike those people. Yeah, make a mental note of all the transphobes, homophobes, and Rowling supporters. Did the same thing during the 80s, during the AIDS epidemic, and I have never forgotten them. Just don't ever forget the faces of your enemies. Let's see. What happens in a first appearance in court may vary. A Trump lawyer told CNN that Trump will likely be arraigned in court next week. If a first appearance is also an arraignment, a plea is expected to be entered. It is typical at a first appearance that release conditions are discussed, such as travel restrictions or home confinement, and defendants are informed of their rights. The lawyers for the government and the defendant also often enter their appearance at this stage of the court proceedings. Trump will likely be allowed to turn himself in voluntarily, but it is unclear if his arraignment will happen in person or remotely. Trump will have to go through certain processes that any other defendant must go through when a charge has been brought against them, but Trump's status as a former president, who is currently running for the White House again, will undoubtedly inject additional security and practical concerns around the next step in this case. Whatever travel Trump must take for his arraignment will need to be coordinated with Secret Service and other law enforcement agencies. NYPD officers were told Thursday evening via internal memo that they should be in uniform and ready for deployment on Friday. So it looks like there might be something happening tomorrow, potentially. I still liked Ralph Fiennes. Helena Bonham Carter I got tired of already, and I blame Tim Burton entirely for that. Didn't she also support Johnny Depp through the... I really reserved... No, I did not want to have an opinion on the whole situation with Johnny Depp and his woman. What is her name? Oh my God. I'm really having a hard time on names tonight. Hello, LNCJ 2008. Does Lux not see YouTube? Oh, it's Heard. Amber Heard. Yes, thank you. I look at the YouTube chat sometimes, just not as much as the website chat. Forever a disrespect that the throat goat Nancy Reagan wasn't at least an LGBTQ ally. Hello, Inky Fishy. She and Depp have done a million movies together. I'm pretty sure Tim Burton has a cuckold fetish, and that's why he keeps pairing up Helena and Depp. So I tried not to have an opinion about the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing because I just was like, I really don't care. But then apparently afterwards it became, when all of the court documents got unsealed, it's very obvious that she was retaliating against abuse. And like, yes, she was not behaving in a way that made sense a lot of the time, but that's kind of what happens when you're being abused. But welcome to the website, 2008. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We appreciate you. My boss, whom I used to work for at the movie theater, and my parents and grandparents told me about all of the prominent Nazi sympathizers during World War II that they remembered. I've kept that memory as well, and I'm keeping mental note of modern anti-Semites and neo-Nazi sympathizers as well. I hope that you're also keeping tabs on the children of any of those people who, had children and were Nazi sympathizers previously, because they might have inherited those beliefs by having been, raised. CJ, is it you? Are you CJ? CJ Whomst has been on the channel prior to this. Oh, goodness gracious. Used to like Helena Bonham Carter. Yeah, I'm like over it. I'm over it. Yeah, you can act really erratically as a person with BPD if you are being abused. It makes you just absolutely insane. Being gaslit and stuff makes you like feel crazy, and it makes you like lose your touch of reality and shit. Is CJ the anti-vaxxer from YouTube chat? CJ, I don't think is an anti-vaxxer. CJ is an adult trans woman who we have had on the channel before to discuss, like one of the very few times that I've had on someone who disagrees with me on a call. And she like takes issue with, she was basically like, I think that the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida is a good thing. And that was like one of the things that we argued about. But the difficult thing about the conversation with CJ that I had, and that chat agrees with me that we had, was that it was literally impossible to stay on one subject because, like, CJ, you were kind of like, every time you would say something and then I would respond to it, you would propose some other idea and like never actually respond to the thing that I said. So we weren't able to actually get anywhere in our conversation. And that made it a little bit trying, for sure. I watched the whole trials and found it obvious that she was the abuser. Well, I think that the trial was potentially set up that way, but this is why I don't think that the court system is a good way to actually find justice. Like, because it was after a whole bunch of stuff became unsealed in the case. Like, a lot of stuff was kept private, the evidence was. And then when it became public afterwards, apparently a lot of people who were familiar with the details of the case were like, oh shit, this makes it much more obvious that she was being abused primarily. And it's like a pretty classic tactic for an abuser to make their victim act like a crazy person and then accuse them of starting it, Like, it's a classic. Darvo. Today on, is this person I'm arguing with trying to obfuscate the argument, or do they just have ADHD? Yeah, true. I mean, I have ADHD, and even on my unmedicated days, I feel like I can at least, like, I always feel the tension of having the conversation get away from me, rather than feeling like I am usually the one driving us off topic. Gish Gallop. What's up with Otro? Oh, you reacted to my anger with your own anger? Sounds like we're both at fault. Yeah, you know, it do be like that. So yeah, apparently Trump faces more than 30 counts related to business fraud. Sources tell CNN. Trump faces more than 30 counts related to business fraud in this indictment from a Manhattan grand jury, according to two sources familiar with the case. Trump attorney says the indictment has a complete lack of legal basis. Just visiting. No worries. We appreciate you being here. I think maybe this is actually better. And then it's not going to cover up my tattoo. I don't know. Here we go. This is what I've gotten used to. Yeah. Let's do this for a while. Hello? Is it me you're looking for? Trump's been threatening the DA. I hope that gets him held without bail, though probably not. They're gonna go easy on him in a lot of the proceedings, I believe. That's my mom right there. Glad I'm out of that house. She's not a bad person usually, but I think she learned to argue from my abusive dad. You know, it's being abused can cause people to have maladaptive communication styles for sure. He is still going to have to be processed, fingerprinting and mugshots. I hope that there is press. Like, I hope that they allow press in the room to take pictures of him getting his little fingerprints done. That's going to be really funny. I'm an English teacher, and when some new kids I teach tell me they like books, I always ask what's their favorite. Like 9 out of 10 answers are Harry Potter. Makes me want to rip out my hair. Are there any recommendations for Warp that Warp can give to their English students? That's like, if a kid really likes Harry Potter, is there another magic franchise that they would be into that would be better than that? I personally really like the Aragon series. The first book is a little bit slow, but it's good. It has magic. So you want to be a wizard? I love the Aragon series. Y'all, oh my god, Corpse Candy. I forgot until just now that there was going to be a Disney Plus series for Aragon. Bro, I will become a video essayist for fucking Aragon, dude. Like, seriously, for real, I will. Well, Animorphs is a totally different genre. If the kids like, you know, fantasy, then I don't think Animorphs, it's sci-fi. I don't think it's really going to do it. Yeah, there's going to be a Disney Plus series of Aragon. I hope that they do a lot of it and that it's not going to stop after one season, because I would be very upset. Wasn't Aragon written by a kid? He was like 15 or maybe 14 when he started drafting the thing. And then by the time he finished the series, he was almost 30. So, yeah. It's not, like, great. I want to know why during the YA film craze we never got Animorphs. Because there was an Animorphs TV show. Did you know that there was an Animorphs TV show? Did you know this? Five teenagers and an alien with the ability to turn into any beast they touch versus an army of parasitic aliens who are slowly infiltrating the Earth. For Legacy, it was, yeah, they had 26 episodes from 1998 to 2000 or something like that. 1998 to 1999. I never watched it, and I assumed that it was bad. K.A. Applegate does have a transgender daughter. I just hope it's good. I would hate for the first live-action Aragon to be terrible. I know. It would be awful if the very first live-action adaptation of Aragon was bad quality. It would be a very tragic moment. Yeah, people recommend Diane Duane, so you want to be a wizard. I will champion the Skullduggery Pleasant series forever. It's amazing, IMO. Oh, y'all, nobody cares about this except like Violet and Baphomet. I started a character on World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King Classic last night. I started up a rogue, and I got it to like level 4 because it was 2 a.m. and I needed to go to bed. I need to maybe watch a couple of those videos over again of how to make gold in WoW and like play my retail WoW enough to be able to get the in-game gold to buy more time. Although I think I only have like 16 days left, so I might not have enough time left to make the gold required to get more in-game time without having to spend money. Especially because I'm capped at level 60 right now. I know, Wrath of the Lich King was where it was fucking at, dude. Let me know a time and I can walk you through the process of getting gold. Okay, cool. Yes, for sure. Possibly this weekend. ICC for life. What about Wrath of the Lich King? Oh, I started a tune on Grobulus last night. I messaged you on Discord about it. So I'll have to have you add me to your guild later. I'm so glad that you're on a PvP server, because I was going to be very upset if it was a PvE server. You're not on that account anymore. What are you doing on Wrath now? Like, what are you doing? I have enough gold I can just send you. Oh, I mean, I would like to earn it, but yeah. Oh, you're not on that Discord account anymore. Okay, okay, no worries. But whatever. Yes, I messaged you last night that I'm on Grobulus. Baphomet 666666666666666. Perfect. Legend of Zend, Breath of the Wrath. We're gonna have more Breath of the Wild soon, right? It's the second one, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom or some bullshit like that. Yeah, Violet. I was basically thinking like, I'm hoping that even though I'm capped at level 60 because I haven't bought Dragonflight, I hope that I will be able to do the gold farming required on my retail characters to get the WoW sub so that I don't have to spend any money for Blizzard. PvE is for cucks, I say as I get ganked 23 times in a row. Listen, I know not everybody is for PvE, but I think that it's a bad thing about the game that there are no PvP servers in retail WoW. I think that you need to have at least 5 servers. Is your goal of your channel, especially live, just a random flow, or do you have a goal? Am I missing something? Tonight, I didn't really have a clear plan because all of the news this week is not really stuff that I can go in depth on. Like, a lot of the times we do a dedicated, like, oh, we're doing a political segment now, but we just don't really have, I just don't really have anything that I can go in depth on this week. The shooter was earlier this week, and we're still waiting for the manifesto. Like, I don't really have a lot that I can comment on about Trump getting indicted. Like, oh, Trump's getting indicted. Wow. Like, on a financial charge. Great. You know, he's probably gonna get, like, house arrest. If that. Whatever. You can flip a switch and turn on and off PvP in any server. Yes, that's a problem. That makes the game worse. I mean, if you want to be on a PvE server where you can opt in, that's fine. But there need to be PvP permanent servers. Like, because that's part of what makes the game good. If you have a PvE only server, basically, if you have a PvE opt-in server, there aren't very many people who opt in. And if, especially in retail WoW, where everything scales to your local area, like, how are you supposed to even duel people if you're level 10 and you're, like, leveling in another area where there's, like, a level 40 person? Basically, everyone unequivocally agrees that war mode was a universal good for the game. I mean, that's fine, but like I think that there should be the option for you to turn it. If you want to have the like servers where there's the option, that's good, and you should have that. There aren't any servers where you just have PvP on all the time now. And like that's part of what made the game fun, is that there was actual risk involved, and like there was actual competition, and it required you to make friends to an extent. Because you know, you're like, oh, I'm trying to level in Stranglethorn Vale, and this fucking DK won't leave me alone. And then the rogue in your guild is like, ooh, I want to fuck around with a DK. That sounds like fun. And then you have to wait 10 minutes. You're like dead, and you can't respawn because the DK will kill you as soon as you respawn. And the DK is teabagging your corpse, and you wait 10 minutes for your rogue friend to show up, and then you see then you see the DK who's been ganking you like get sapped. And you're like, oh shit, it's ready to go down. And then your sub-rogue friend just goes, and like just beats the shit out of the DK. And then you can respawn and run away. Like, that's just like a thing that I loved about the game. And it sucks ass that retail doesn't have any PvP servers. In practice, PvP servers, especially on Classic, became super heavily Horde or Alliance stacked to the point where there was no World PvP, because as it turns out, people being toxic and griefing you in World PvP while you're trying to quest isn't that fun. I mean, yeah, because there's like... I mean, that's fine, CJ. I'm like... the dominant portion of my audience at this point is people who prefer it when I go off on tangents and talk about random stuff. So, like... I don't do politics streams every night. If the stream title is something like, what are we doing? Or something random like that, that means that we're probably not going to talk about something serious. But if the stream title is like, they want to eradicate the transgenders, then we will probably have like an actual segment that night. Or several. I've always wondered what the fuck people mean when they say teabagging. Teabagging is like, I mean, it's basically like in practice, in real life practice, I think the idea is that like you would crouch down and have your ball sack near someone's face as like a, haha, I killed you. So in a video game, it's like if you stand over the corpse of your enemy and you crouch and stand up and crouch and stand up and crouch and stand up, it's like, it's a disrespecting your corpse moment. And like a, haha, I killed you. So that's what that is. When you get a level 19 twink rogue ganking 1 to 10 so it's impossible to get your body back, it's not fun when you actually cannot play. Sometimes you have to get off the game and get on a different tune. Or sit spam with X in WoW. Yes, you sit and then you stand up and sit and stand up. I've done the IRL version. Gotta tame the brats somehow. And if you don't have a higher level character, I didn't mean get on a different character. Listen, you can bitch about it and you can fucking play on PvE servers. I don't have to like the way that you want to play the game, and you don't have to like the way that I want to play the game. Like, I prefer it. And I didn't mean like get on a tune that you can come beat up the rogue that's ganking you. I meant just like sometimes you have to get on a different alt and play somewhere else until like that person is reasonably gone. I just liked that it was competitive like that. To me, if you just get on a PvP server and never turn off PvP, it's basically... Wait. Did you mean if you get on a PvE server and never turn off PvP, it's basically a PvP server? How does it work nowadays with scaling? Isn't that the point? Terraria hardcore sucks ass sometimes, but it's optional. Every server is both a PvE and a PvP. I don't think that we're using these terms the same way. Like, PvE servers have always had the option for you to turn on world PvP for yourself individually. That has always been the case. So every server now in Retail WoW is a PvE server where you have to opt in to world PvP. Yeah. The only game I play is Sims 4, and the only way I play is as a cruel eugenicist. Totally agree. Sometimes it's better to bore the fool into leaving the area by not playing that server. PvP mode on all servers can be made PvP only. Wait, what? Okay, but the problem ultimately is that some people want PvP some of the time, and it sucks in WoW's case because you can't get off a PvP server without spending real money. Just have tunes on different servers. Yeah, I mean, we can, like, talk briefly and on a surface level about news today, but I don't have, like, a lot to go in depth on. I saw this comic and thought it was cute. I'd like to see a doctor, please. Do you have insurance? Well, does it matter? Well, do you care about going bankrupt? Well, would having insurance stop me from going bankrupt? Well... A character is an investment in classic WoW. It's not that simple. I mean... Like, I'm just saying, like, if you want a different experience, then you should be on different kinds of server. Like, if you don't want to be on a PvP-only server, then don't be on one. If you want to be on a PvP-only server sometimes and on a PvE-only server other times, like, then play that way. And if you decide that you really fucking hate being on the PvP server all the time, then pay the money to transfer, you know? For real, I have insurance and still owe $8,000 for not dying of cholecystitis. It's closer to every server having 2 servers in one. And if you don't want to pay money to transfer, then it sucks that you started on a PvP server, I guess. I mean, I'm not defending the practice of Blizzard charging you money for it, but, like, that is how it is. If you, like, you started on a PvP server and, like, now you're really invested there, and yeah, that sucks. And, like, I understand that your characters are an investment because back in the day, it actually took time to get to a place in the game. Server transfer being free equals the economy is destroyed. They would have to put, like, time limitations on it or something. Oh, yeah, were there some big protests this week? Now this is a gamer conversation. Yeah, I know. I personally loved the grind. That's the entire reason why I started a character in Wrath of the Lich King, is because I like that it actually takes time to get to the end level. There are a fair amount of people who have it on all the time and people who only have war mode on some of the time. Okay, I mean, maybe the homogenization of the servers to all have, like, some amount of PvP and PvE means that there is a decent amount of competition on even PvE servers. Like, there are other things about the game that have changed with regards to world competition besides that. Like, another thing that has changed is that your mining nodes and stuff are instanced to your local game, which I think is pretty annoying. Because, again, like, part of the thrill of the game was, like, oh, I've landed on my rogue, and I am, like, mining this thing, and then a Death Knight lands next to me and tries to start killing me, and I have to start popping my cooldowns and, like, kill the fuck out of that DK, and then mine the carbon or whatever, carbonite? No. What was I thinking? Cobalt. Mine the cobalt. I was thinking of Burning Crusade on top of the corpse, you know? That's another problem with PvP in Classic. Fucking DKs, fuck those guys. Yeah. I mean, we used to make fun of him. I enjoyed making fun of DKs. That's what I did. I could never get into him. I tried a DK a couple times. I could never do it. Yeah, CJ, we just have to balance the politics with the chilling because I can't talk about politics all the time or I'll want to kill myself. So tonight's a little bit more of a chill night. Maybe Sunday we'll talk about politics for real. We'll see. I'm also trying not to stress myself out because I'm having my IUD removed tomorrow. I'm trying to, like, not put myself in a fucked up headspace. Ugh, I hate the Leroy Jenkins guy. He sucks so bad. The only DK I know is Donkey Kong. I wish I had my shades. Oh, you know what? I have these. Donkey Kong. Just imagine like a shredded like guitar thing right as I did that. These are from my birthday earlier this week. Hello. They're not actual shades. I don't know if you could tell that. What about Seth Rogen and a Death Knight? Seth Rogen's DK? What? Those are a vibe, DBH. Thank you. I wore these for most of the stream on Sunday. Oh, Donkey Kong. Wait, what? Oh, is Seth Rogen voicing Donkey Kong in the Mario movie? Oh, wow. Unrelated, I'm very sad that Blizzard replaced the old Dungeon Finder. I haven't seen it. Oh, I haven't seen it in Wrath Classic. I haven't done that yet because I have like a level 4 rogue. That's it. That's gonna be such a fun cast. Except for Chris Pratt. Like, that's the one thing that's not gonna be fun. I played WoW for a bit in my early 20s and just wasn't into it. Well, it has a much broader appeal now, Captain Cougar. I'm not suggesting that you buy it, but I mean, maybe it would be more to your liking now because, you know, back like 10 years ago, it was actually a much more competitive game. You got Charlie Day as Luigi. Danny DeVito was right there to play Mario. Like, it really, you could have just gone there, but no. The thing is that it's really, like, you know, if you've watched BoJack Horseman at all, you would know that you can't get a movie made without like a name attached to it. Thank you, Trout Dealer, for the tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. I wish you a procedure with as little pain as possible. Yeah, I'm gonna take so much ibuprofen and hope that helps me. Maybe I should go ahead and take 800 milligrams like my doctor told me to do. It just seems like a lot, but it's also only for like a day, so maybe it won't hurt me. That is a hell of a story warp. Folks like The Sims, huh? I play Boomkin in Wrath Classic and it's like... Wait, I'll be honest, I feel like it's way more competitive now with all the high level rating and mythic score and all that. I play Boomkin right now in Wrath Classic and it's like a 1-button rotation class. I'm not talking about it being competitive in PvE and raiding. I fundamentally play WoW to play by myself and have PvP experiences. Like, the only raiding I did was insofar as it was necessary to accomplish things in order to do PvP. Oh, God. I feel like it looks from the outside more competitive, but most people like me are just out doing world content and farming cosmetics or gold making. Yeah, I'm not talking about... I'm not trying to talk about, like, PvE raiding competition. Like, that's not what I mean. When I say that the game is less competitive now, I'm not talking about raid content, because I didn't really do that. I mean, like, competitive in the everyday experience of... Because you raid only, like... I mean, if you know, back in the day when you had your server and you would raid, you know, you only did it, like, once a week. Or a couple times a week, maybe, on specific nights. Now they have the raid finder, so that's a little bit different. I love how WoW can have very different appeal to different players. I mean, that's the good thing about MMOs, is that they provide such a variety of different ways to play. I was talking to Silent about this last night, and she was saying that basically retail WoW is at this point catering primarily to end game content. And I'm like, I mean, that just sucks for me. Raid Finder is hilarious. It's always a shit show. When I was doing Raid Finder back in the day, I was doing it on a Paladin. So, you know, I was like tanking on a Paladin, and that was fun for me. I need to get some water. It's been like 2 hours. I need to drink water. You need to drink water too. Hail hydrate. There were some protests yesterday. I wanted to look at it. In BFA, there was a raid that required you to have a specific legendary cape to actually physically be able to do it. You would die without it. Oh no! You could queue for you could queue for Raid Finder without the cape, and then you would just die when you spawned in. Oh god, that's very funny. I had to check on my potato soup. My potato soup is doing so well. Oh, hello, Dizzy. What a time to tune in, indeed. I'm trying to use Lux Finder right now. Just entire dead raid groups because half of the people in there did not have the cape. Wow. They eventually made it so you needed the cape to queue. Well, that's a good idea. What happened on Twitter? Oh, wow. Twitter is this from yours, Mama? Twitter recommended that you follow J.K. Rowling, Shu, and Ben Shapiro. That's pretty obnoxious. And 2 of them are people you have blocked. Twitter is just pushing right-wing people on us now, even if we have them blocked. Oh, it's Shinigami Eyes, not blocked. I always forget that because I don't use Shinigami Eyes. But okay, so it's like... It just is recommending a bunch of neocons. Unironically, normal pugs are easier than LFR just because they're way more organized. I also marked Shu as anti-trans. Yeah, why is she not showing up on Shinigami Eyes? I keep forgetting other people don't use Shinigami Eyes. I just, I learned stuff about the person who made it and was like, I don't know if I trust this framework. You ever seen a pug? Those little fuckers ain't organized. Look at their faces. They're so squeezed. So squeezed. Oh my gosh, my phone. My telephone. Da-da-da-da-da, my telephone. Gotta make sure there's no shenanigans going on. Shinigami Eyes is funny because sometimes you'll find an extremely radically pro-trans person who's just marked red. Or you'll see, like, Riley Grace Roshong marked green. Yeah, someone marked green who says trans people are so fucking annoying. Yeah, but we say that kind of stuff about ourselves. I might actually tweet that someday. Someday I'm just gonna be like, trans people are so fucking annoying. You joke that you can't sing. Do I joke that I can't sing? I don't think I joke that I can't sing. I sing constantly, and I know that I'm good at it. Ring, 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 banana phone. Banana phone. Do I have any banana? I do have bananas in the freezer, but I'm not gonna go get them. She was a disappointment to me now since the whole thing. Since the whole thing. Not even anything in specific. Just since the whole thing. It was this Balenciaga thing that made it really obvious that it was just gonna be a bad... She she is a reactionary and a useful idiot to conservatives, and she is her I guess latest opinion is that puberty blockers are bad for kids. Ugh, annoying people are so trans. Vosh is so lenient with her. I think that he actually, over the Balenciaga stuff, was like, I don't think I can abide her anymore after this. Annoying, very egg behavior, true. I have no idea how bad faith she is. I literally can't tell, at least publicly. Annoying people are so trans reminds me of that comic where a woman's boyfriend makes a dad joke and then she gets a positive pregnancy test. Vosh did get really stern with his criticisms of her. Yeah, he basically was like, okay, this is the first time I'm going to be talking about Shoe on Head without using kid gloves, and she will probably burn the bridge with me over the comments that I'm about to make. I'm proud of Shoe. Why? Because she has a fucking neo-Nazi boyfriend? Conservative Twitter is not okay. Oh god, what's happening? Oh no. Is this going to... Because we are the champions? I don't know the... It's like Trump's got the eye of the tiger, or it's like, it's not eye of the tiger. That's not the rhythm that this is to. I meant I'm proud of Vosh. Oh, okay. Trump's got the eye of the tiger, a fighter. Trump's dancing through the fire, because Trump is a champion, and you're gonna hear Trump roar. Or is this like... Wait. Is this Katy Perry? What the fuck is happening? Vosh hasn't publicly associated with Shoe since then. Good. Is it Katy Perry? It is Katy Perry. I fucking could tell. Oh my god, no. I have contempt for Shoe on Head because of the video she made about femboys and men wear tunics and other garments usually associated with girls and women. I've never really watched Shoe on Head content. You know, my oldest exposure to Shoe on Head was when she was being anti-non-binary toward... I mean, she was being anti-non-binary, and then Natalie Wynn became her friend and was talking to her and convinced her to take down her anti-non-binary video. And, like, since then, I never cozied up to her, and I never started watching her content. I just... I never trusted her after that. And I think that that is... I think that that is good. Do people on your side like debate or disagreement to your views? They do seem to enjoy when I get mad. It sort of depends. Dizzy, thank you for the tier 3 sub. You have good color name. Yes. Shoe dropped Balenciaga literally the day after Q, right? I mean, it was just really bad timing. Yeah, people do like it when I get mad. So they enjoy the blood sports. And sometimes people will come into the chat and be... I mean, you know, even amongst us, even amongst the people who largely agree with me, like, you know, we had a really contentious discussion about the R slur, like, about the, I mean, you know, it was like originally like a term that really was attacking people with Down syndrome. And, you know, we had like a really difficult conversation where we did not agree. I don't like it when people get mad in general, TBH. Yeah, I try not to do it too much, but very occasionally I'll rage quit. Not as bad as Vosh chat gets, but it was a bit of spice. Oh yeah, you should have seen the Philosophy Tube gender dysphoria debate. Yeah, that was I'm in the middle of editing that right now, and it's so difficult. Sometimes I wish people in general would just chill for real. You would not like them when they're angry. Angy. I can do mathematics. I swear. Okay, I want to do this. Let's do this. Because why not? I don't typically increase the amount of the total throughout stream because it makes me feel like, oh, I'm, you know, instead of being like, yeah, we made it and we're just gonna leave it as like, we made it. Penelope and Xena put up their video on a Philosophy Tube earlier and I haven't finished it yet. I don't really want to come out hard publicly on this, but I really dislike the way that, is it Penelope? Like Penelope and Xena, the way that, I mean, I don't want to, it's so weird because it's like I don't actually see Xena having the Poppy usually. Okay, Poppy and Xena, I don't really see Xena actively being the one doing the opinions. It kind of seems like maybe they agree with each other on a lot of things, but Poppy is the one who's really like primarily advocating their opinions. And I get the impression that Poppy is like the one who's kind of in charge of their YouTube channel, but maybe I'm wrong. So when the title of the video is like addressing Philosophy Tube's idiotic ideas about gender dysphoria, that kind of like Xena does talk. Yeah, I just don't know like how much Xena is like, I guess they're both equally culpable at this point. Xena does a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. Okay, so they're both equally culpable for the toxicity of their rhetoric is kind of where I'm at right now. I really don't think that the appropriate way to handle philosophical disagreements within our community is to do shit like call it idiotic or call it nonsense when someone disagrees with you about the philosophy of gender dysphoria. So, I don't really like the direction that their channel is going in and the direction that their rhetoric is going in, and I'm really not interested in engaging with it anymore. One of the things they used to get really angry about and still kind of do is the Xena erasure because Xena talks. Some of the stuff that I watched back in the day was like, is mostly Xena sitting there knitting, but fine. Like, okay, so they're both equally culpable for how toxic their rhetoric is becoming. I just was assuming that it was more Poppy because I see her being more brusque in like DMs and things like that as well. Like, just like in group chats, in any conversations, like Poppy is just really direct. And so I kind of assumed that it was more her, but I guess it's both of them. I want to make sure if you're mad at one of them, you're going to be mad at both of them. You know, I'm good friends with them, LOL, and Xena has struggled with the erasure. Okay, yeah. I'm just like not really sure how much I like being around people who are like that. And it's not just Poppy and Xena. Like Poppy, Xena, and Malcolm are all three people that I'm kind of not interested in engaging with publicly going forward. And I'm, you know, I'll exist in community with them, but like I just don't really feel like, you know, I don't like the idea that people who I'm supposed to be friends with are like kind of vitriolic toward our differences in opinion. So if I agree with Philosophy Tube on her positions about gender dysphoria and Poppy and Xena call it idiotic, that does not make me feel good about potentially engaging with any dialogue going forward on literally any disagreement that we have, because I don't feel confident that you're not going to use ad homs. And that like it displays like a fundamental lack of respect for the thoughtfulness that has gone into my position for you to call it idiotic. And I just don't really feel like we're gonna be able to get along. I think they're afraid that people won't get their healthcare funded. Well, cis people get their healthcare funded without needing a gender dysphoria diagnosis. And that's the problem. The problem is that we need this additional diagnosis in order to get the exact same healthcare. You put that really well, honestly. I mean, I'm trying to be kind, and I don't want them to see this content later and like get pissed off at me, because like that's not what I'm trying to do. I really just don't want to have a conversation going forward about it, you know? Chariot did a good video about it. Oh, about the dysphoria thing? Serena, to try to like really abbreviate the dysphoria conversation, like Abigail's position is that the collection of feelings that we label gender dysphoria, like, first of all, we've already agreed as a community that you don't need dysphoria in order to be valid in your identity as trans. So clearly we don't need it. And if you look at the medical care system, like if someone has polycystic ovarian syndrome, like if a cisgender woman is growing a mustache because she has slightly higher natural testosterone level and she doesn't like it, she can get a testosterone blocker from her regular doctor. And sometimes she'll even get insurance to cover her facial hair removal, because of course a cis woman wouldn't want to have a mustache, and that is a normal feeling which doesn't require additional psychological assessment. But a trans woman who wants the exact same care is like, they have to go get additional care. They have to see specialists and stuff. And so Abigail's position is that the gender dysphoria diagnosis is discriminatory inherently and flawed inherently. Gender dysphoria has a clinical definition and a colloquial definition, and the clinical definition doesn't even matter in Britain because their diagnosis is of gender incongruity, not gender dysphoria. Yeah. So, yeah, fundamentally, it's that she, like, Abigail believes that the concept of gender dysphoria is it's a category error. Why is that idiotic? I don't know. I'm not interested in having my ideas called idiotic, so I'm not going to watch the video. Do you not see for your audience there are people out there strongly different than you, and how you engage those people? I mean, I don't go seek out people who are dramatically different to me. That's not the point of this, CJ. You know? The fundamental thing about being a streamer is that we all enjoy being here. And so sometimes we're going to have arguments, and sometimes we're going to agree, and sometimes it's just about learning different ways to phrase things and wanting to learn different concepts. So yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people who are strongly different than me. And the other thing too, CJ, is that when people are strongly different to me, they tend to also be like fucked up and hateful people. And it's not like I'm not engaging with people who are different than me because I don't want to deal with that, or like it's because they fundamentally think that I don't deserve to live, or like to live the way that I am. And so I'm not really interested in like catering to those views or trying to argue for my right to live. Which is why I don't really do debates and stuff for the most part. I agree that the wording is jarring and harsh, especially for someone like PhilosophyTube, who I think is very deserving of the trans community's goodwill, but the points Poppy and Xena made were really strong. Yeah, I mean, I kind of think that if you are a psychological professional who has gone to school to learn all these different diagnoses and stuff, that you are kind of entrenched in the, like, okay, so there's not really a good way for me to phrase this. I have also seen Poppy be really dismissive toward criticisms of the construct of borderline personality disorder, because she's been trained within this construct. Like, she's been trained within the construct of these diagnoses, you know? And her legitimacy as a professional is predicated upon the validity of these constructs. So, of course, she has to defend them. And like to some extent, being able to access dialectical behavioral therapy is dependent on you getting a BPD diagnosis. Like people take issue with the construct of BPD because it seems like BPD might actually just be the specific way that post-traumatic stress disorder manifests itself in autistic people. So there is a reason to be critical of the borderline personality disorder diagnosis, and the fact that it's called a personality disorder is something that is like highly stigmatizing and, you know, can be really harmful to people. And Poppy just kind of really is dismissive toward those criticisms, at least on Twitter, in a way that like really turns me off from trying to have any further conversations. And like, yeah, I don't know. Is your platform for you or your audience? This is my full-time job now, CJ. So primarily the platform is for me. So if I get on and someone is pissing me off, I will remove them from the chat. But it's fun, you know, it's like for both of us, because if I only ever do what I want to do and talk about World of Warcraft constantly, then people will not necessarily want to stick around for that. So it's like a balance between what I want and what you want. We had a stream recently where someone was like, oh, I don't want to talk about politics today. I want to just chill. And I was like, well, I'm planning on talking about politics. So if you guys want me to not talk about politics, then you'll have to reach the stream goal. And then you guys blew out the stream goal. And not only that, but someone was like, okay, if we double the stream goal, can we have one single politics segment? And I was like, okay. No worries, Baphomet. Try to have a good night. Yeah, so I ended up doing one single politics session. Yeah, we blew out the stream goal. Absolutely blew it out. Oh my god, I saw a picture earlier today that was really funny, but I don't think I liked it or retweeted it, so I don't know if I'll be able to find it again. But the guy was like, or it's the picture is the caption says he's about to blow out your back, but it's like a doorstop that is really tiny and like chode shaped. Abigail described gender dysphoria as feeling sad, I believe, and the way that I experience a lack of mental well-being over a body's incongruity would... Okay, y'all. She was very clear in her initial video, and then in a follow-up live stream, like Dizzy, the live stream that you're referencing as the feeling sad quote came from was the post-mortem live stream right after the gender dysphoria video, or sorry, the NHS video came out. And so she has like an entire 9-minute section of the video where she goes in depth and she acknowledges all of the angst and all of the negative emotions that go into what we understand to be the construct of gender dysphoria. So it's like, it's expected in that context that you will have watched the video. And I think to an extent, as a creator of her size, I don't think that Abigail on Twitter is expecting that many of her followers don't also consume her content. So I think that, like, because it's all her brand, you know, for me, my Twitter is very separate from my YouTube. At least it feels that way. But at a certain point, if I became a very large creator, I would expect that people who are following me on Twitter are also at least somewhat familiar with my content. And so I would probably not want to go into complete in-depth detail every time I'm talking about the issue. If I have a body of work that you could have seen and that I could reference to, it's just like, how many times do I need to do it and how many caveats do I need to make every time, you know? It's not that I'm upset with Abigail, to be clear. It's that what I saw made me not super clear on what she meant. Yeah, that's fair. I guess, yeah, people feel that she was being very unclear. I don't feel that she was being unclear, but that's just like we read it in different ways kind of thing. You ever see a Twitter discourse, look at it, realize it's fairly simple and move on, and then a week later people are still not fucking getting it? This is part of why I'm late a lot of the times. This is why I am late to the content, is because I see a Twitter discourse and I go, oh, this is pretty obvious what the correct answer is. And then a week later, people are still bitching about it. And I'm like, y'all, did you not see the obvious answer to this? I struggle with those facing gender challenges and not accepting the reality of those that oppose it. CJ, what do you mean? Like, accepting the reality of those that oppose? What do you mean oppose it? What is it? Oppose what? Honestly, I think the people who are attacking Abby for this are fucking stupid. If you're still harping on her for this, you're even dumber. I don't know what other words to use at this point. I'm not gonna necessarily come down all the way hard on that, but yeah, I don't know. Wow. I'd love if someone could make an edible thing that feels like Velcro in your mouth, because apparently it's called pica, but I'm trying not to chew Velcro anymore. Oh, don't chew Velcro. No, don't do it. Come down all the way hard. Hard. Yo, it's starting to smell really good in my house. It's got like a chicken stock vibe right now. What's up, Speedy? The fact people got angry still baffles me, because at most I just found the exchanges everyone was having confusing, because I was never sure what anyone meant when they said gender dysphoria. Personal distress, the clinical diagnosis, a clinical diagnosis that gatekeeps transition care, like not sure what we're talking about here. As a cis guy, I feel like that whole debate is outside my wheelhouse. Like, I have an opinion on it, but I have no reason to speak out massively on it because I don't have skin in the game. I appreciate that. It's, you know, I experience this when I'm out there in the world and black people are having a discussion about something that has fuck all to do with me. You know, sometimes I might have an opinion. I might think, well, I think this group has better argument than this group, but you know what I do? Because it's not my business. I really wish that we had some kind of mutuality about these things where other people also didn't fucking swerve outside their lane. They call me chowder. Tater chowder. I'm not going to make a roux because I think that making a roux is just a lot of extra work. There was nothing for me to engage with because it was just confusion, and I'm too tired to care enough to pay attention and sort out what's going on. Right. Lux is first to be in black people's business. No. Yeah, so we need to normalize shutting the fuck up about shit we don't understand. Yeah, to quote Burnham again, like, can any one person shut the fuck up for an hour? I don't know shit about theoretical physics, so I don't go on Twitter tweeting shitty takes at physicists. True. Do you think this applies to stuff like the digital blackface thing too? Okay, so here's my opinion on digital blackface. My opinion on digital blackface is that you should generally avoid it. If you're constantly using the images of black people to represent your over-exaggerated emotive reactions to something, I can see the ways in which that's problematic, and I would say that you don't want to do it very much. Like, I will occasionally, you know, the gif from Donald Glover where he's like, good. I use that one sometimes because it's got a very particular thing to it, and there isn't another one that's like that. Generally speaking, I think that you should be aware of the implications, as Dennis would say. However, I don't think that digital blackface is anywhere near as bad as actual blackface, and I think that if you're calling digital blackface violent, then you need to check yourself into a clinic. I would say if you exclusively do it, then you should examine why, but I will never refuse to use a reaction just because it's got a black person in it. It's just about taking the moment to think and to go, is there a better way to express this idea? Like, you know, if what you have chosen is a gif of a sassy black woman, is a gif of like a white gay person doing a similar thing gonna serve you better? Because yeah, like it's like a co-option of, you know, I don't know. It just, I don't think it's like that different from if you are white and you're not from a place where African American vernacular is normal, and you talk and you start talking like that and like emoting like a black person. Like I think it's understood that that's pretty shitty. We all have, you know, we have the concept of a variation on a slur incoming. We have the concept of like wiggers, which is considered a bad thing for white people to like be co-opting black culture and acting like that. Like it's different. It's bad for different reasons. Obviously, like racist white people call other white people that because they're criticizing them for being too similar to black people. But black people also don't necessarily like white people who act like that. Like the reverse Oreo thing. So that's considered distasteful. And I think that digital blackface is like somewhere on a spectrum on the way to that. I mean, that white gay person is also generally co-opting black culture and how they're being sassy, so that's just removing a step. I know, yeah, I know. So it's just like, is this femme? Literally, I'm wearing a tank top and I just moved my hair to the other side and it looks, I'm like looking femme. Like, okay, if I do this, is it different? I'd say the exception is people RPing as a person of color in a game like WoW or D&D, so long as they are open that they are playing as a character and aren't being disrespectful. You know, I think that there are ways to do it that are fine. Yeah, Dizzy says you should at minimum be aware of the way that black people are memed and the way that we use the images, for sure. I think the femme was referring to the snaps. Oh, it's the snaps. Okay, so this feels butchy, right? Yeah, like, why does it make that big of a difference? I don't get it. Yes. Okay. Ah, yes, the two genders, left hair and right hair. Which side the hair is on does change the vibe, though. Not gonna lie. I know. I don't understand it. Like, why? It feels butchy both ways with the hair. Okay, yeah, because I am wearing, like, butch tank top, loose-fitting tank top today because I wanted to show off my progress from the gym for the past month. Yeah. We're making progress. Ugh. Anyway. Because you're facing the cam at a 3/4 angle. I mean, yeah, I'm... Here. Now it's not 3/4 anymore. Do you mind being called butch? I don't hate it. It's more arched on this side and more squared on the other. I know, it's because my hair isn't parted normally on this side, so it's up. Like, because it isn't normally turned this direction. Excuse me. Butchy tank tops are cool, yeah. It's about the undercut, right? Have a nice gender. Did I just give you dysphoria? No. I was just like, I've just been asking this question since the beginning of stream. I'm trying to figure out if I want to start parting my hair the other way. Because normally it's like this. And because also, oh, Dizzy, you weren't here earlier, but I have been thinking about growing out more of my hair. And maybe trying to have like, okay, I don't want to have all of it be long. I want to have an undercut on one side, but I'm not sure which side. So now the question is, which way do I want to be permanently parting my hair? I've been doing it like this for several years now. Like the entire time that my hair has been long this time around. This has been how my hair is, like this. And like, now I'm sitting here flipping my hair back and forth from either side. Because it'll be thicker. Like there will be so much more hair underneath here if I grow it out. So it's like, does it look better if I show my actual face to camera instead of covering it? Your gender, hand it over, give it. I flip my hair back and forth. Yeah, for sure. By the way, are we doing Discord karaoke this weekend? I'm having my IUD removed tomorrow, so on Friday, I am going to be at my partner's house, being on the couch, getting cuddles, and not doing anything. And I was actually thinking maybe it should be a Wednesday night thing, because I really think that I should preserve my Friday and Saturdays. You asked a question, then missed the response. Yeah, I mean, chat do be zooming, CJ. Where was it? Well, okay, it's because your clarifying statement didn't actually clarify anything. Just a different idea that young trans are holding on to. Like, you could try, like, typing statements that actually make sense. It's not any clearer to me what you mean. Like, I get it. You're an adult trans woman who thinks that young trans people don't know who they are. I think that that's a shitty position to have. Hollow usually won't be able to show up if it's Wednesday. I mean, you know, there's several things that I want to do in the server. Like, I want to do karaoke nights and I want to do movie nights. And I'm not even going to be able to be there for all of them. I need more people on the mod team to help organize these things. That's what I need in the server on the Discord. Later celebrity. Cougar is a good gender. Cougar's got to be one of my favorite genders. It would be a delight if you would attend a Wednesday night Twitch stream for my bud Dr. Booty Quiver. Oh god. Is that real? No way. Wednesday, after the sun comes up, of course. Can't wait until I can start tagging my nudes as MILF. When you're like 30, I think you can start claiming MILF status. That's how it is in porn now, right? Why do they call them genders if you never see them gend? Yeah, who are they gending? You think shitty position? Yeah, I think that if you take the position that you should hide the existence of gay and trans people from children because you think that it's going to confuse them, then that's a shitty position. And, like, that is your stated position as of the last time we talked. Like, yeah, I think that, and, like, also, like, I recall you, like, inappropriately questioning a transgender teenager at a support group. So, like, yeah, I think that you have shitty opinions and you are socially unaware in a way that I find really grating and annoying. Might be up for organizing Discord shenanigans at a later date. Oh my god, Dizzy, if you want to help out with my mod team, then I will be so down for it. Like, I don't even really expect much. We just need, like, a couple people to help me get stream nights organized, or, like, non-stream nights organized. PSA, remember to prep supplies for power outages. My powder was just out 15 minutes. Good time to discover I was out of batteries. Oh god. Yeah, it's been so windy this year. Y'all, like, I don't know why, but the weather in Kansas is so fucking windy the last couple of years. I hate windy weather. So, you know, likely power outages. I'm overqualified for that, frankly, so I'm down. That would be so cool. Thank you. Because I keep talking about wanting to do karaoke nights, but then every Friday comes around and I'm like, I don't want to do this. I was exposed to a lot more straight cis people as a kid, and lo and behold, I am not cis nor straight. Oh, good grief. Did I have... I feel like I had some stuff. Yeah, try writing complete sentences, because that statement that you just made is nothing to me. You just stated calling shitty from others is wrong, and you just did the same. Like, this is part of what makes communication difficult. I was also exposed to clowns, and guess what? I am not a clown. Da 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 da. Is this a person whose name I should know? Is Richard Stroker? Richard Stroker? No, that's not a real account. This can't be a real account. Richard Stroker? Dick Stroker? That's not a real account. Ban transgenderism, remove transgender rights entirely, institutionalize transgender people, ban drag shows, ban gay marriage, remove homosexuality from public, arrest sexually predatory teachers. There's no need for complex arguments to do all the above, just do it. Like, is this a real person? A child who had her father's support but not her mother's. Yeah, guess what, CJ? That was exactly the fucking position that I was in when I was a teenager, is that I had my dad's support, but my mom called fucking CPS to try to get me taken away from my dad because he was allowing me to dress differently at school. And like, yeah, you were at a support group and you chose that opportunity to like question a teenager. Like, I don't care what the circumstances were. You like, it's obvious to me in this conversation, CJ, that you lack social awareness to check the vibes. Like, we're having a chill stream and you're actively derailing it. You know, I mean, I'm allowing you to derail it because I could be ignoring you or I could block you from the website, but I'm trying to just like, I mean, frankly, it's a little bit entertaining at least to like have these little asides, because sometimes I do enjoy arguing with people and making fun of them. So, you know, content. But look, I made you some content. Daddy made you your favorite open wide. Here comes the content. It's a beautiful day to stay inside. But I wouldn't allow people that I disagree with to hang out in the channel if I wasn't having fun making fun of them or like talking to them. And most of the time it's not fun. Most of the time it's pretty fucking frustrating. And I don't like having to explain to stupid people over and over again basic fucking concepts. So, you know. We're doing a little... Someone play Metallica. Hey, Alexa, play Metallica's Seek and Destroy. I'm cutting off my dead ends. Hollow wishes when its system is stupid. They would be entertaining about it. You failed. You did not set off my Alexa. Aren't they, like, I mean, my, you know, my Google on my phone is supposed to be tuned to my voice, right? I wasn't even trying. I was like, I don't have an Alexa. It did not occur to me that any of you would be listening out loud and I might trigger your Alexas. That's very funny. I won't do that very often because it's kind of rude. But it's funny when it's an accident. Also, like, 1000% respect for Bo reference. I love Bo Burnham. Bo Burnham has T-Boy swag. The only thing that is not T-Boy swag about Bo Burnham is how tall he is. He's like 6'7" or some shit like that. He's like 6'5". He's enormous. It's terrifying. I ain't got no Alexa, stay out of my house, Bezos. It's crazy how often my phone thinks that I'm talking to it. And I'm like, I definitely did not just say Google. Apparently we can't do that because my Prime is not active. Oh, bummer. Alexa commercials cut out all audio from a specific frequency that the app listens for, so the commercials don't tend to set off the devices. There's, yeah, I know that people do that on purpose sometimes in their videos, and they joke. There was apparently a girl who had to change their name because Alexa caused her to legitimately be bullied over it. Oh, that's fucking shitty. Hollow's roommate has one of those things. It doesn't like being in the room with that thing. They're super weird. I like the idea of having a smart house, but also there's so many vulnerabilities. Growing a full beard because I finally can swag. I salute you, Super Dr. Hulock. You will be able to. I like the idea of having a local smart house. Right, as long as it's, like, not on a network that reaches outside the building. I said a sentence in German while I was hanging out with friends at the cigar shop a week ago. One of my friend's phones reset its language to German. Oh God, that's terrifying. Instead, we're playing Enter Sandman. Excuse me. So much cool technology feels off limits because corporations are such scum who will do the most dystopian shit with it. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually excited about the potential of having like a psychic link to the internet, but, you know, that's not gonna happen like in a way that isn't terrifying. Like, oh yeah, I get a chip implanted in my brain and they make the process all safe and everything, and it's like connected to me psychically through a magnet or some shit like that. And then they can just hack me and turn me into an automaton soldier, you know? I have my Google speaker going through a network I made that keeps it from phoning home. And then you put that in a Faraday cage. Just build your house. Just build a Faraday cage into your house and you'll be fine. And stick your internet router just outside your house in a nice sealed box. Nice, like, sealed glass box. And then take your Ethernet cords inside from there. There you go. Solutions. I get a chip implanted in my brain and I can't stop thinking about Doritos. Oh my God, yummy. I want an open source voice activated computer assistant so you can set it up on a home network without Amazon writing down all your favorite sex words. Yeah, for sure. My Siri did Enter Sandman when I asked for the song. Oh, it just didn't want to listen to my views. That was me. Imagine being named Alexa and really liking hearing your name during sex. You just gotta leave the Alexa in the kitchen. Only in the kitchen. I mean, yeah, you're not allowed to have sex in the kitchen anymore after that. In my case, I'm setting up an OpenSense custom router so I can have built-in privacy on my whole home network. I probably need to have people who are more tech savvy in my life to make sure that I'm actually secure on my network. Oh, you can change the wake word. I wish that you could change the wake word for Google. Like if I could be like, ahoy matey. And then she was like, how can I help you? That would be fucking great. But you can't change it as far as I know. There's 4 wake words. It can be either Alexa, Amazon Echo, and computer. Oh, computer is cool. Oh, that's cool. If you need advice for networking and stuff, let me know and I can send you some resources. Yeah, I mean, I think that my problem right now is that I don't know what I don't know. And I wouldn't know where to start when it comes to cybersecurity, you know? Like, I tried to get a VPN and then it was like, oh, well, this is fucking up my computer performance. It's not great. And now the fucking TikTok ban or the Restrict Act or whatever it's called is potentially going to give you like 20 years in prison for using a VPN. Computer is cool, but I watch too much Star Trek to risk it. I don't want Alexa to start analyzing Romulan attack patterns. I'd kill to just be a little taller. I only started tea after I stopped growing. What age did you start tea, Speedy Shimeji? I can help with that. IT Prov Protv is great about helping you discover more about what there is to use in tech depending on what goals you want to pursue. I'm about the same height as you, Super Dr. Hulock. I feel pretty okay about my height because I feel like I'm taller than plenty of cis guys. And it's like 5'7" is a good middling height, I think. Yeah, it's CJ, the problem is that you can't read the room. Like, and I think you emailed me at some point in the past, and like, there's a reason I didn't respond, and it's because I don't really see our conversation getting anywhere productive because of how socially inept you are about this. Like, even after people explicitly are telling you to stop and after you're being ignored, you're just, like, still doing it. And I don't really... I've actually... I think I already blocked you on the YouTube page. Is that why you're here on the website? Because you couldn't comment in the chat? Like, because I was annoyed enough with you that I blocked you from ever commenting on my channel ever again? What the fuck? They're gonna punish people for using VPNs? 100% guarantee that was snuck in there by corporate lobbying who want to take more people's data and criminalize the means of protecting your own data. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've seen some good breakdowns about this. I don't know if there are any with screenshots. Here, let me see. Let me pull this up. No one likes the word transsexualism anymore. I mean, I identify as a non-binary transsexual femboy, but we don't really call it transsexualism. Okay, let's see what this person has to say about this. We're gonna learn from some TikTok person.
It's really important. A lot of you asked me to do it.
Hold on. That's very loud. At least it was very loud for me. Was it very loud for you? Hold on.
It's the Restrict Act. What is the Restrict Act? Why does it suck? And what the fuck's going on?
Okay, it's
the
a
Bill
little loud.
686, introduced by this ghoul, directs the Secretary of Commerce to do some stuff. What? Determine certain transactions that happen between you and everywhere you go on the internet.
Okay, these tiny microphones are fucking adorable and I need one. I need one!
Everywhere you go, I mean desktop applications, mobile applications, gaming applications, payment applications, web-based applications, content delivery services, managed services, internet hosting services, cloud-based or distributed computing and data storage. Everything on the internet. When the corporations, entities, firms that you're interacting with, websites, whatever, are foreign adversaries, companies in a place that is considered a foreign adversary, or other such entities, okay? Already got a cute little list of foreign adversaries on here. You guessed it, China, Cuba, Iran, North Korea, Russia, and Venezuela. Don't worry, they can very quickly and easily add new foreign adversaries. Very broadly, the Secretary can make determinations if there is a national security threat of your interaction with that entity, which, remember, can be a website. What if the Secretary does make that determination and the President checks off and goes, yup, no more this thing? You're going to get in trouble? Section 11, penalties, subsection A to F. No person may engage in any transaction or take any other action with intent to evade the provisions of this act or any regulation, order, direction, mitigation, measure, prohibition, or other authorization or directive issued thereunder. So yeah, you're going to get in trouble, but what's going to happen? Civil penalties.
Okay, there is more.
But what's going to happen? Civil penalties. A fine of not more than $250,000 or an amount that is twice the value of the transaction. Okay, but I'm not going to go to jail, am I? Criminal penalties. Upon conviction, be fined not more than $1 million or may be imprisoned for not more than 20 years or both. If you access a website you didn't know it was hosted by a foreign adversary, my admin professor in law school would kill me, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% on admin law. Normally, under the Administrative Procedures Act, when they have stuff like this, they have something called a notice and comment period where before they make decisions, they open it up to the public. They're like, hey, what do you think about this new policy we're doing? This act is exempt from that minorly democratic function of the Administrative Procedure Act. To recap and conclude, massively broad, massive power to a very small group of people, no democratic accountability at all whatsoever. Remember, my sweet, moderate to conservative, but actually I think are conservative people, the people that you like who are in power are never in power forever. This will absolutely be used against you and people you care about. Short of it, we cannot let this thing get passed. It is garbage.
Yeah, so basically it's like if you are going to use a VPN to
really important. A lot of you asked me to do.
Shut up. To potentially access a site that is blocked by this provision, then yeah, 20 years in jail. And since because they can't necessarily track what websites you have been to under the VPN, you potentially will be just penalized for using a VPN point blank period, because they're going to say like, well, why would you be using a VPN if you weren't trying to use it to bypass the law? Honestly, I don't know if we can stop the law from being passed. It seems bleak. This is part of why I haven't talked about it on the channel yet, is because, like, what the fuck are we going to do about it? I don't really think that we're going to be able to do anything about it. I've seen a video of animals being interviewed with a mic like that. I know, it's so cute. The tiny little... I need one. It's just like... I made like a short this week, and I think that if I don't really want to make TikToks for sure. I just, you can make TikTok-like content, TikTok-esque content on YouTube Shorts. So I think that would be a funny thing to do, is if I'm like recording a video in my kitchen or in some other part of my house, like if I just sat there with like a, yes, Zoomer Lux, Zoomer on the scene. Oh my God, you're being so passive-aggressive. Go the fuck away, CJ. You've said multiple times that you're not interested in the conversation we're having. Go the fuck away. The entire attack on TikTok is just a Trojan horse to pass worse crimes for cyber-based crimes. Yeah. Every YouTuber ever thrown in jail simultaneously. Interview the Isopods. Oh my God, that would be so cute. Oh, that would be so cute. I'm so excited that I have so many baby isopods in actually a couple of my enclosures right now. And I'm considering putting them in nicer, bigger containers with, it's just so annoying. Yes, get one of them to climb on the mic. Oh my God, that would be so cute. I'm thinking about putting them in a proper terrarium with like actual, like with plants and stuff in there, but it's just, then you need another fucking outlet for another plant light, and like it's not even necessarily good for plants to only get light from an artificial source. And I only have so many windows. Isopods. Do you want to see one of them? Let's see. Let's get one of them. Look at these babies. Okay, they're running. They're zooming. They are a zooming. What's a good way that I can show you guys off? There's some over here. Hello, sirs. Hello. Look at my tiny little scurrying boys. Scurrying. My scurry boys. Yes, bugs. They zooming. Yeah, they're adorable with their little antennae. Light colored so they stand out nice. Is it weird that I'm getting hungry while looking at them? No, they're shrimps. You could technically, I think you could technically eat them. You could cook them and make them, they're like shrimps. The biggest ones that I have are like about that long, which is like a little bit more than a centimeter. They are fat shrimps, indeed. Roly-polies. I've heard they taste of piss. Isopods aren't actually tasty. They're not, yeah, it's not about them being tasty. They are flat shrimps. Those guys are flat. I have other ones that are rounder, you know. They're good boys. I like having isopods. Chunkier. Yes, yes, yes. We simp for the shrimps. Where did you get them and what do they eat? One of my cultures are wild caught. So we caught them out at the park. And the other cultures, did I actually buy the orange cream? I actually think that both of my cultures are ones that, like, when my partner bought a type of isopod that he actually wanted, the seller just usually also sends an extra, like of like a less valuable type of isopod, and like throws a couple of them in there. So I think that all of my isopods are from that. So I have 3 cultures. One of them's wild caught, and 2 of them are from a breeder, basically. Good night, Zuki. And what do they eat? They are detritivores, so they eat basically anything that is organic and in the process of deteriorating. So currently, like the enclosure that I just showed you has some tofu in there. Tofu and onions, because I made some tofu and onions to go in burritos this weekend and didn't end up finishing all of it. So I gave them the rest of the tofu. Excuse me. My controversial opinion is that I have no interest in seafood. I got to pull out of the shell myself. People are so excited to crack open the crab legs at their plate, and I'm like, why? Just give me the crab meat. I don't know. It's a process. I really have been wanting crab, but I've only been wanting crab because I want the butter-covered meat, not because I want to worry at it. But, I mean, that is part of the process. You're like, I got to get into it. You can basically give them your spoiled food. Yeah, but I don't give them vegetables and fruits because I can't be sure that there aren't pesticides on them. And I don't want my guys to die. Good night, Warp. I like pulling the tail off shrimp, but if the entire shell/legs have been left on, fuck that shit, truly. Not gonna lie, seafood scares me because of all the shit in the water from pollution filling up the food that the seafood eats. That's a good point. I don't eat a lot of seafood. I mean, I live in fucking Kansas, so it's not like we have very many good seafood options here. I'm still trying to decide. I think that, I don't know. We're just gonna try this for a while and see how it goes. True, the ocean be polluted. Good night, celebrity. Or sorry, good night, Warp. I just saw that Warp said celebrity. I can't fucking read. Do not eat landlocked sushi. I sometimes eat sushi, because sometimes you'll find some sushi at a place that you want to eat it. What made you want isopods? My partner got into it, and I just kind of got involved. He was like, do you want some? And like the wild caught ones that I have are ones that we caught together. You know, we actually went to, it was like a little date moment where we went to the park and we picked up individuals from the park to take home. Unfortunately, you could say that about most food nowadays. Cows are pumped with antibiotics a lot, I think. Plastic and toxins will just make their way up the food chain. Yeah, but it's not like I think that the water is potentially more full of the water is full of microplastics, for example, and the air is not. And so cows don't have like microplastics in them because they don't swim in the water and they also don't eat fish. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, the grass that the cows eat don't have microplastics in them, precisely. True, as a cannibal, I am annoyed by how many pollutants are in my meat. Imagine having a giant ape grab you out of your home. Yeah, imagine having a giant ape grab the roof off of your house, because a lot of the times you find isopods underneath logs. So just imagine that a giant ape tears the roof off of your house and then steals a couple of your children and like your Uncle Jerry and your friend Tom, and they're just gone forever. Sorry. Not to mention fish that are higher up the food chain have metals in them. Yeah, heavy metals stack up like the higher up the food chain you go, for sure. Isn't that kind of the plot of Finding Nemo? True. Yeah, rude. I know. We're chomping on Fisher Price fish. Oh my god, that's true. Okay, y'all. It's 9 o'clock. We've been chilling. It's been a great stream. I've really enjoyed this. I am hoping that tomorrow goes okay, and by Sunday I will be like mentally and emotionally ready to entertain you again. So I'm gonna go tend to my potato soup and play video games for the rest of the night. I will see you on Sunday if you're gonna be able to be here. If not, then I'll see you Tuesday or Thursday next week. So, yes. Thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate you. Be good. And if you're not going to be good, then at least don't get caught.